Saraswati Devi
Gauravani Pracharine
Nidishesha Sunyavadi
Paschatya Desatharine
Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Advaita Hodadha Srivasadi
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Hare Rama Krishna
Yadavaya Namaha
Hare Govindaram
Srimad Sudhanam
Karodi Vajalam
Pangun Langayate Girim
Yachita Mande
Sri Gurum Dhinatharinam
Paramananda Madhavam
Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram
Hare Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om Tat Sat.
So today we are continuing on Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Chaitanya Shikshamrita. The soul is conscious and blissful.
Hello. Are they all conscious and blissful?
Are they all conscious and blissful? Guru Maharaj is asking. The soul is conscious and blissful. In the pure realm, this form and nature are eternally manifest in pure form. In the material world, this form and nature exist in a perverted form. What consciousness is cannot be perceived through logic or senses. Only consciousness can understand consciousness. Consciousness is the specific substance characterized by the symptom of awareness. By this substance, the spiritual body of the living entity, the Vaikuntha realm, the abode of Bhagavan, and the form of Bhagavan are formed. When the power of will is associated with this spiritual body, the blissful nature of this conscious entity is directed. From Sandini comes the spiritual body, Chiddeha. From Samvit comes will, Icha. And from Haladini comes happiness, Ananda. When these combine, the living entity Jiva manifests. The living entity's body is in the form of spiritual atoms. The living entity's will is a specific particle of Samvit, and the happiness is a very small part of Haladini. This is the nature of the living entity. This is dharma of the living entity. When the symptom of happiness in the form of awareness, gyapti, from Haladini manifests in the living entity, the rati dharma, bhava, arises in the living entity.
Already discussed before that in the material world, everything is unconscious.
So we already discussed before that in the material world, everything is unconscious.
Then, from the spiritual world, the consciousness comes.
And that from the spiritual world, the consciousness comes.
And that consciousness combined with matter forms the living entities.
And that consciousness combined with matter forms the living entities.
So here it describes Sandini, Samvit, Haladini.
So here it describes Sandini, Samvit, and Haladini.
In short, that's Sat Chit Ananda.
In short, that is Sat Chit Ananda.
So we are all meant to be in the spiritual world where everything is conscious.
So we are all meant to be in the spiritual world where everything is conscious.
But somehow we we've fallen in this material universe,
but somehow we have fallen in this material universe,
and therefore we're bound up by a subtle and gross body.
and therefore we are bound up by the subtle and gross bodies.
The simple soul, Krishna comes with us, guides us.
So for the simple soul, Krishna comes and guides us.
So we want the jivas, the fallen souls, to desire to be with Krishna.
So we want the jivas, the conditioned souls, to desire to be with Krishna.
And that desire to be with Krishna is the most essential thing.
And that the desire to be with Krishna is the most essential thing.
Because that can free us from this material bondage.
Because that could free us from this material bondage.
Haribo!
The essential nature of the soul. The Swadharma of the living entity, Jiva, is the nature of the Jiva expressed by the words happiness, Ananda, love, Priti, and Bhava. Note from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.9.41. It is the opinion of the expert transcendentalist that the ultimate goal of performing all traditional good works, penances and sacrifices, charities, mystic activities, trances, etc., is to invoke my satisfaction. In the liberated state, the Dharma of the soul, is unobstructed, pure, and unrestricted. In the state material conditioning, that Dharma is distorted. Therefore, the Swadharma of the conditioned soul is not based on its swarup or nature, but based on its relationships, sambandha gata, in a life without ethics or in an atheistic ethical life or in an imagined theistic ethical life, that Swadharma becomes distorted in relation to material desires. In these three types of lives stated above, there are varying degrees of distortion. In such conditions, the Swadharma assumes a completely opposite form due to its relationship with opposing subjects. People with topmost intelligence, instead of calling it as Swadharma, call it as Vaya Dharma, perverse dharma. In a life devoid of morality, the animalistic activities.
I'm not reading.
People with topmost intelligence.
He can read that. You read it, he's reading.
In these three types of lives stated above, there are varying degrees of distortion. In such conditions, the Swadharma assumes a completely opposite form due to its relationship with opposing subjects. People with topmost intelligence, instead of calling it as Swadharma, call it as Vaya Dharma, perverse dharma. In a life devoid of morality, the animalistic activities such as eating, sleeping, and mating are the only attraction. Even the persons following the ethics refer to this as perverse religion, Vaidharma. For the persons following the ethics, these attachments do operate, but keeping some regulations in sight. In essence, the character of the person without ethics is that of degraded animal. These character of the ethical life is that of an elevated animal. because in both characters the Swadharma of the soul is severely distorted. Those who lead a moral life with actual faith in God, their attachments, raga, are subject to contemplation of God. Consequently, the Swadharma of the soul tends towards detaching distortion in that context.
So all the people in this category are actually having distorted dharma.
So, all the people in this category are having distorted dharma.
That's why it's not called Swadharma, but Dharma.
Therefore, it's not called Swadharma but Bhai Dharma,
Distorted Dharma.
distorted dharma.
So our nature is to be completely attached to Krishna.
So, our nature is to be completely attached to Krishna.
And unfortunately, most people are attached to the more animalistic parts of life.
And unfortunately, most people are attached to the animalistic parts of life. Note from Srimad Bhagavatam 4.21.27. My dear respectable ladies and gentlemen, according to the authoritative statements of Sastra, there must be a supreme authority who is able to award the respective benefits of our present activities. Otherwise, why should there be persons who are unusually beautiful and powerful both in this life and in the life after death? In a life of Vaida Bhakta, the Swadharma of the soul manifests significantly.
So Krishna is the supreme power.
So Krishna is the supreme power.
And as Siddha soul, he accompanies each living entity.
And as Super Soul, he accompanies each living entity.
So living entities are rewarded even materially with different grades of bodies
So living entities are worded even materially with different grades of bodies
by the mercy of the Siddha soul or the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
by the mercy of the Super Soul or the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Note Srimad Bhagavatam 4.21.33. Prithu Maharaj advised his citizens, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open-minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord. According to your abilities and the occupations in which you are situated, you should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives.
So you see here how Prithu Maharaj is advising his citizens.
So we see here how Prithu Maharaj is advising his citizens
How everyone should be engaging in devotional service.
and how everyone should be engaging in devotional service.
And this way they can achieve the final goal of life.
And in this way, they can achieve the final goal of life. In the life of a Bhava Bhakta, this is fully realized. The distinctions of qualifications in Varnashram Dharma and in the life of Vaida Bhakta, the devotion to the Supreme Lord with adherence to such respective qualifications are referred to as Swadharma in relation to the conditioned soul. Arjuna's battle and Uddhava's renunciation of Varnashram duties are examples of this Swadharma. Briefly, it is said that the love of a pure soul is its Swadharma, and the devotion of a conditioned soul is its primary Swadharma. Karma and all others are secondary dharma. That is, as per the qualification, they are Swadharma when subordinate to devotion, and if performed contrary to devotion, they should be abandoned as perverse dharma, vaidharma. As long as the conditioned soul remains materially bound, its swadharma is not purified.
Uh, Here in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya's mercy is principle.
So here in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya's mercy is principle.
And if we take the mercy of Lord Chaitanya,
And if we take the mercy of Lord Chaitanya,
then we can achieve this higher state immediately.
then we can achieve this higher state immediately.
So many of the things written in the Bhagavatam are pre Lord Chaitanya.
Many of the things written in the Srimad Bhagavatam are pre Lord Chaitanya.
Lord Chaitanya, he takes the things from Bhagavatam,
Lord Chaitanya, he takes the things from Srimad Bhagavatam,
which are which are it takes one to what's said here, Bhava Bhakti.
he takes one to what is said here, Bhava Bhakti.
That one immediately within a short time
That one immediately within a short time
can achieve the Bhava Bhakti platform.
can achieve the Bhava Bhakti platform.
And that platform and the Swadharma is very easily achieved.
And in that platform, in their Swadharma is very easily achieved.
But in the lower, the Vaidhi Bhakti, the Swadharma is still a little bit conditioned.
But in the lower platform, the Vaidhi Bhakti, the Swadharma is still a little bit conditioned. Note Srimad Bhagavatam 4.22.30 to 33. When one's mind and senses are attracted to sense objects for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result of continually thinking of sense objects, one's real consciousness almost becomes lost, like the water in a lake that is gradually sucked up by the big grass straws on its bank.
So, a lust to enjoy the objects of the senses
So, lust to enjoy the objects of the senses
makes us lose our focus on Krishna.
makes us lose our focus on Krishna.
Gradually, our spiritual inspiration is lost.
And gradually our spiritual inspiration is lost.
Chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra,
In chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra,
getting in the process given by Lord Chaitanya,
engaging in the process given by Lord Chaitanya,
gradually we fill out the lake again
And gradually we fill up the lake again
with the spiritual water.
with the spiritual water.
Others,
When one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position or recognize his present one. When one remembrance is lost, all knowledge acquired is based on a false foundation. When this occurs, learned scholars consider that the soul is lost.
so with the spirit soul, there's all remembrance, all types of spiritual uh, uh, things.
So with the spirit soul, there's all types of remembrance, all types of things.
But when we're completely absorbed and enjoying the objects of the senses,
But when we're completely absorbed in enjoying the objects of the senses
and we don't think about Krishna,
and we don't think about Krishna,
then it's considered the soul is lost.
then it is considered that the soul is lost. There is no stronger obstruction to one's self-interest than thinking other subject matters to be more pleasing than one's self-realization.
We should want to have self-realization.
We should want to have self-realization.
If we think something else is better,
If we think something else is better,
then we're in Maya.
then we are in Maya.
We should think that our realization of the self of Krishna is the most valuable thing.
We should think that our realization of the self of Krishna is the most valuable thing. For human society, constantly thinking of how to earn money and apply it for sense gratification brings about the destruction of everyone's interests. When one becomes devoid of knowledge and devotional service, he enters into species of life like those of trees and stones.
How many want to be a tree
How
or
many
stone?
How many want to be a tree and a stone?
So this idea where we actually think about Krishna,
So this idea where we actually think about Krishna,
where we engage in the Navadvita Bhakti, 9 processes of devotional service,
where we engage in the Navavida Bhakti, the 9 processes of devotional service,
takes us to the spiritual world.
takes us to the spiritual world.
But most people in the material world, they just want earn money and get sense gratification.
But most people in the material world, they just want earn money and enjoy material sense gratification.
So everything we should do to please Krishna.
So everything we do, we should do to please Krishna.
Even if we have, like Prabhupada said, Grihastas should have acharyas as children.
So even if we have, like Prabhupada said, we should have acharyas as children.
Acharya.
Acharya.
So
Grihastas.
everything we do, even things which are material, are done for our spiritual purpose.
So everything we do, even if we do what is material, it should be done for Krishna.
So on this way,
Krishna's purpose.
We remain more and more conscious
And in this way, we remain more and more conscious.
even a person
Even a person endowed with love cannot fully comprehend Swadharma in a purified manner. Only after becoming free from material bondage does this understanding become pure. Through the practice of Swadharma, both of the soul's spiritual nature and the love in the form of Swadharma gradually attain purity. Continue. Okay.
so while we're in the material identification, we cannot fully comprehend uh, Krishna.
So while we are in material identification, we cannot fully comprehend Krishna.
So, what in the stage of Bala, we practice our Swadharma in relation to Krishna.
But in the stage of bhava, we practice our swadharma in relation to Krishna.
Gradually, we attain stage of purity.
Gradually, we attain the stage of purity.
So, Raga, Rati, or Bala, one experiences the ecstatic love for Krishna.
In raga, rati, or bhava, one experiences the ecstatic love of Krishna.
Now, if one concentrates on that, gradually they can attain purity.
If one concentrates on that, then gradually they can attain purity. Phalanubhava, realization of the results. Phalanubhava, realization of the results, is the fourth aspect of pure knowledge of the soul. The 5 types of experiences of results are as follows. 1. Experience of results of sinful actions, vikarma phala anubhava. 2. Experience of
How
results.
many of you have realized the karma fall?
How many of you have realized vikarma fall?
How many of you? The suffering in the material world to as a reaction to wrong deeds.
The suffering in the material world as a reaction to doing wrong things.
How many of you have experienced suffering?
How many of you have experienced suffering?
So still not. So how many have only had bliss all your life?
How many of you have only had bliss all your life?
No suffering.
No suffering.
Uh-huh. Alright. So
2. Experience of results of non-actions. Akarma phala anubhava.
I think that's difficult to experience a karma. Oh, no reaction.
To experience akarma, fall, no reaction. 3. Experience of results of actions, karma phala anubhava.
Then one does some good work, good karma, and realizes the good effect.
One does some good work, good karma, and realizes the good reaction.
And one have any happiness in your life.
Anyone have any happiness in your life?
Or
4. Experience of results of knowledge, jnana phala anubhava.
so having experience of the spiritual activities,
So having the experience of spiritual activities
can
like jnana.
5.
5. Experience of results of devotion, bhakti phala anubhava.
So how many of us experienced bliss during the kirtan,
So how many of you have experienced the bliss during kirtan? Or Ekanath Prabhu says, or in the class?
oh, it's hard at 8:30.
It's already 8:30.
Oh, don't start on this. Oh, the end. Blessing to everyone.
Blessings to everyone.
Krishna Radhe Astu.
Krishna Matirastu.
Dear devotees, we warmly welcome the temple president of Chuvenka, Ecuador, Prahlad Nrsimha Prabhu and his wife Lalita. Guru Maharaj ki jai. Welcome to Guru Maharaj Virtual Book Table. For those who are physically present here, to your left near the gate, there is a physical book table, which is Guru Maharaj personal physical book table. And before you leave, please do visit and see in what way you can serve Guru Maharaj fulfilling the instruction of Srila Prabhupada by sponsoring at least one single Bhagavad Gita or some small books. So today we have, under the leadership of Gaur Krishna Das from USA, Thalaban Sham Sundar Das and family 14 Bhagavad Gita, Mahadev Malik and family 15 Bhagavad Gita, Nishik K. Biswas and family 6 Bhagavad Gita, Maharani Devidasi and family 14 Bhagavad Gita, Jitendriya Jagannath Das and Sachi Priya Sundari Devidasi 16 Bhagavad Gita, Akhil Devnath and Trishna Devnath 15 Bhagavad Gita, Atashi Saha and family, Madhula Gotras $20 Bhagavad Gita, 5 Bhagavad Gita, Ashesh Kripalo Nitai Das and family 5 Bhagavad Gita, Sarvandya Mukunda Das and family 8 Bhagavad Gita, Chandananga Krishna Das and family 6 Bhagavad Gita, Nirmal Gopinath Das and family 8 Bhagavad Gita, Pushpa Paul and family 25 Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Narahari Das and family 19 Bhagavad Gita, Nihar Mondal and family 15 Bhagavad Gita, Dipapriya Gauradi Devidasi and family 3 Bhagavad Gita, Anandini Vrinda Gopi Devidasi 4 Bhagavad Gita, Mintu Rai Chaudhary 4 Bhagavad Gita, Khanika Paul 13 Bhagavad Gita, Sachirani Devidasi and family 10 Bhagavad Gita, Shanti Rai and family 5 Bhagavad Gita, Sabita Das and family 5 Bhagavad Gita, Kiran Rai and family 15 Bhagavad Gita, Shyamal Bhaumik 18 Bhagavad Gita, Madhabi Janaki Dasi 6 Bhagavad Gita, Janavi and Manasi Ganga Dasi 12 Bhagavad Gita, Pranshaka Jagannath Das and Ekan Ishta Swadra Das, Devidasi. 8 Bhagavad Gita, Sanjay and Kakali Baumik. 6 Bhagavad Gita, Sushanta Gopal Das and family. 6 Bhagavad Gita, Gaura Krishna Das and family. 20 Bhagavad Gita, Sukla Mitra and family. 44 Bhagavad Gita, Mahagopika Radhika Devidasi and family. 50 Bhagavad Gita, Paramananda Rishikesh Das and family. 42 Bhagavad Gita, Ranjit Bhaumik. 25 Bhagavad Gita, Ram and Shivli Devnath and family. 13 Bhagavad Gita, Nandita Ghosh and Monui Sarkar. 5 Bhagavad Gita, Chatra Narayan Chaudhary, Badhani Chaudhary and family. 13 Bhagavad Gita, Puja Ghosh, Sagar Ghosh and family. 5 Bhagavad Gita, Biva Saha, Tapan Saha and family. 13 Bhagavad Gita, Nirab Chandra Sutradhar. 5 Bhagavad Gita, so 521 Bhagavad Gita. Saribol. We also have our Nitya Savats, Balachandra Channa, Vinita Gandharvika, Balavranda, 8 small books in the last couple of days. And we have from Kasadesh, Damini Mataji and her family, 2 Bhagavad Gita and 20 small books in the couple of days. And this is a 1:10 ratio exactly as Guru Maharaj needs as per the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. So, and Prabhupada's instruction makes Guru Maharaj gives a monthly contribution or commitment, and Damini Devidasi and her family is giving a daily contribution, the same ratio, by being a very good role model example for all of us. So let's follow her in this regard. From physical book table, we have Nitya Madhavi Ghosh, physical book table, Maha Manoranjan Krishnadas, 1 Bhagavad Gita, Ramani Lakshmi Devidasi, 1 Bhagavad Gita, Nitya Madhavi Ghosh table again, Mani Gopal Das, 1 Bhagavad Gita, Rangini Champagalata Devidasi, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai. All these devotees get a special Narasimha Puja in a few hours from now in Siddham Mayapur. And all of you devotees also, please bless them by calling out Nitai Gauranga with me. Nitai Gauranga. And please pass on this wonderful, auspicious opportunity of participating in the pastime of Guru Maharaj distributing Srila Prabhupada books, even the single Bhagavad Gita or even 12 small books. Please do WhatsApp anytime to Guru Maharaj virtual book table at +91 94 34 76 04 02. Stay tuned for tomorrow's Lord Chaitanya class. And of course, now finally an intense prayer for Guru Maharaj's speedy and full recovery. Tomorrow is having dialysis. So let's pray. And of course, our prayers include for all those who are celebrating their anniversaries today, for their well-being and blissful Krishna consciousness. Please join me in the intense prayer. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patithanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaur